All right, really excited to share with you guys this option because I think it'll help a lot of you guys out and be a top contender in the dumbbell market, no question, in the near future, unless something comes and beats it out. Why this is so exciting, and by the way, thanks to you guys that told me to check this out, listen to you guys, drop comments down below, anything else you want to see in the future. These are, as of right now, the cheapest adjustable dumbbell that is more in that quick lock territory, very similar to, basically it is a knockoff of the Ironmaster's old technology. You have a continual spin that takes the weights on and off. It's not exactly the quick lock like Ironmaster where you can pull it out and pop it in to adjust the weight, but it definitely is competitive for what it is because I bought an 80-pound pair and it seems to be selling out fairly quickly as far as those pairs. And they are having an ecosystem with maces and adjustable kettlebells, etc. But I bought an 80-pound pair for $322-ish before taxes. Very, very cheap when you're considering you got 80 pounds compared to Ironmasters, which is roughly $800 for less weight being 75 pounds. And you need to buy their extender pin to actually fit 80, which by the way, this is 80 right here. I actually have, I'll get to this later in the video, I actually have this loaded up for 100 pounds with the stock pin. I would not recommend that, but I'm just took a gamble on that, but you'll see that later. This is 100 pounds. Still, I think Ironmaster is still a tad higher than this. This is taller, I'll get to that later, but where I think these things are a direct competition to are towards other knockoffs like Eisenlinks, which are dubbed we're the cheapest knockoffs. People ask me to check those out. I saw that it was a square design. I knew the Ironmaster would be quicker. People have already done reviews for it. Why I wanted this one? Obviously no reviews for it so far I'm seeing. Very cheap, very affordable, has an ecosystem. I love the octagonal design here, the octagon, because it closely resembles more of a circle. So I think, and I said this before with the Ironmaster, the square has a certain feel to it when you're doing things like curls. Very, very slight, but I noticed it. And I've said when I did my Kensui dumbbell review with their handles, you guys will probably see that in the video too. I love the more circle shape, ideally for a dumbbell. This is very close to how it overall feels. But end of the day, guys, I'm gonna go over just some things I think where it counts and giving you guys the basic first impressions, how it feels in the hand. A lot of this stuff is always personal preference, but if you want to pick up this, Ironmaster, or anything else, I will link a bunch of stuff down below in the description box. Greatly helps support me and the channel. Empty handle here is a starting weight of 10 pounds. I'll show you a little bit of the knurling. Feels good. There's definitely some space here. I don't know if you can really tell that on camera. I mean, I can definitely notice it. Maybe you see some shots of me doing some exercises, you can see it a little more pronounced, but overall, I mean, it's not bad. I'm sure you get used to it. When I did load this weight up and bring it down, when I went ahead and brought it downstairs in the basement, I actually thought it was uneven. I thought I had more weight on the side because I kind of grabbed to one end. And so you do kind of have to get used to grabbing it balanced because you will feel that difference in this width. But overall, and this goes with everything else, all the plates, everything does look pretty good. I have put these things through a little bit of use and it looks like they're not that prone to scuffing. Of course, these will. I will just see the powder coating, all this paint job looks pretty good. Getting to these weights, you notice when these things are connected, they don't tip over that easily. So that's a nice little catch there. They're kind of similar to the Eisenlinks, I believe, where they have this little hex screw that you can adjust, or if it gets loose, I'm not sure, whatever, but they kind of fit together just like that. Not too big, not too thin, but these are 5-pound increments right here on each individual plate. Again, I think these look pretty nice for the paint job all around, little marks and blemishes. I didn't go through every single one so far with the fine-tooth comb, but I would say overall I was pleased with just how they look out of the box, all things considered, with the price as well. So each of these are 5 pounds, and then they do give you a 2.5 pound over here. You don't have to put this at the end, but this would be like a nice little end cap if you wanted to put something at the very end. This would be the topper because there's no screw, like a little indentation there for the hole. But these are 2.5 pound plates. You get 2 of these. And then the individual screws, got the AOC logo there. Very similar to what the Ironmaster looks like. I'll show you guys that. Some little knurling there. Out of the box, some little discoloration. Very minor stuff here, but just pointing it out. Screw-on system, not the quick lock. And each of these are 2.5 pounds. I'm going to go ahead and put everything together and just show you what that looks like if you want to put a full 80 pounds on. So just like Ironmaster, I think you can do a little like kind of preset to get a little loose to kind of retighten it. Let's go ahead and do a weigh down of these. These are already pretty accurate. I've already weighed some of these. All right, so end cap should be 2.5, pretty close. Also pretty close. This should also be 2.5. It's right there. These should be 5 on the dime. And this should be 10 again. Pretty close. And since we're here, before we get to the Ironmaster comparison, let's just test out Ironmasters. That should be 2.5, that's a little more. Let me test out another one of theirs. That one's a little less. Ironmaster 5-pound plate, right there. Ironmaster 2.5-pound plate, it's right there. And then the Ironmaster handle, this thing should be 5 pounds, and it is. Ironmaster just a little bit tighter, or it could be the knurling that's kind of giving off that deception, but no, that thing is definitely bigger, a little bit more width in there. And if you've watched any of my Ironmaster videos with the dumbbells, you guys know I'm not a fan of this width. I've said that was going to be a deal breaker if they did not have the heavy handle kit, so obviously I took that off to be fair, to do a fair comparison. But much smaller. I'll give you guys a side shot here in a second, but this even has more space. So I'm just definitely not a fan of that much space in the dumbbell, just for overall balance. As I'll keep saying though, if this was my only thing, I'm sure I would get used to it and it would be fine. Definitely a bigger size base or handle, no question, compared to the Ironmaster. And of course, their patent thing is the whole quick lock with this this little knob here from them. But going off of what they tell me, and the reason why they cannot be copied, often imitated, never duplicated, is because of the engineering that goes into this and the precision engineering, and not just for these parts right here, but also just the individual weights themselves, making sure these things are such a tight fit. So they have said before many times that's what separates them apart from, say, knockoffs such as this. But for you as the consumer, might not be that big of a deal. All right, so we got them loaded up with 80. Let's go ahead and weigh these out. Starting off with the Ironmasters. $80.4. Then going off with that, now with the AOCs. Still can't get over that name though, to be honest with you guys. All right. 79.6. And also as a point of reference, the Ironmasters, while shorter, look like they are definitely about 2 plates longer. So this is where the AOCs stop. You got 2 more plates longer. Again, this is the same weight here at 80 pounds. Let's bring in what a roughly, this is 10-pound plates, so about 60-ish plates of a, this is the metal Kensui grip, and kind of showing what that looks like. It's almost comparable, a little shorter, but slightly less weight compared to that, but I just wanted to show you this contender, what this all looks like, and I'll give you guys some other shots of this. This might burn a little time, but I thought I might as well go through some of the major exercises, not really doing a workout, but just kind of going through these AOC dumbbells and telling you how they feel, more so because this octagonal shape here. I already put this thing in. I got 10, I got 20, I got 25 basically right here. I'll comment on this later. The spacing is not bad. It's like maybe a 1/4 of an inch more than the Ironmaster dumbbells, but as I'm just doing this one's got a little bit of a, you can hear that rattle. Give it a little extra tighten, and it went away, so you should be able to hear that in the microphone. Overall, these feel good in the hand. I don't feel like a dramatic pull one way or the other. I would say, I'll probably talk about this at the end, the Ironmasters feel better grip-wise, but as far as the overall kind of like arc and how it feels as you're doing a rotation, kind of like this with a bicep curl, I think I prefer these better, and that probably has something to do with the shape of the dumbbell. I've said before that I really love the circle as the ideal dumbbell shape for me. Okay, so I want you guys to hear this. I've tightened this thing down as much as I could, and there's still just a little bit of play. It's very minor, but I might as well show it to you guys. How it sits in your legs feels totally good. Feels very comparable to the Ironmasters. Let's kick them back and do a chest press here. See, I already don't like, right away, I do not like this spacing and the balance, but I say that all the time with the Ironmasters. Otherwise, I would say once you get your balance, it's fine. It's not a giant deal. I'll say this throughout the video, you'll get used to it. With those cons, I do think it feels overall, other than like finding the centering of your hand, I think it feels good. Definitely better than other things that are out there that are much more expensive and faster, such as the Dumbbells, which I've said before. Don't like the way those things feel in your hand. These do feel, other than your hand being centered and the balance between the dumbbell, I don't feel any kind of weird pull laterally with the dumbbell, so it feels balanced in that regard. If you were to, throw these in the ground, I don't think you really break these things. Honestly, I'm not looking to destroy them. And if I've never said it, I think I've maybe ever dropped a weight, maybe once or twice in my life, or felt like the need to drop a weight in a gym. So I think if you control the weight, you're doing the weight you can, barring no weird extreme situation, I don't think that's really gonna be a thing. But these are just really just solid steel. I'm gonna go ahead and do rows. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna try and see how much I can actually fit on here, because with this pin, I feel like I still do have some space to exceed 80 if I actually wanted to, if I bought this 80-pound pair versus the Ironmasters. If you buy a 75-pound kit, that's literally all you can do unless you get the extender rod. So let's see how much I can fit on a dumbbell. I'm gonna go 100. If this is wrong math, I'm sure one of you guys will correct me. All right, so we got 100. I got no warm up in here, so we're just gonna jump into it, see how this feels, trying to really center and balance my hand here. Feels good. You definitely feel that spacing, no question, but very solid. All right, for the heck of it and for the world of YouTube, let's go ahead and see if I can clean and or snatch this weight. Would highly not recommend at all trying this with the 100 pounds in here, because I just feel safer with the laundry extender pin. But I feel like I'm controlled enough. I should be good. Let me put this mic down. That feels great, actually. Very balanced. As far as like the weight itself, I would say this really does feel the closest thing. If you were to ask me basically, do I prefer this octagon versus a square? I prefer this octagon. It feels a little more circular compared to, again, a traditional circular weight. So the way this feels, when I'm just cleaning it, the way it sits here is comfortable. Again, only downside is that spacing. For the price, the quality, the build, the practical uses of it, not to mention they have a whole evolving ecosystem with kettlebells, mace bar, straight bar. I didn't even talk about the unboxing, the way everything kind of came for the price. It looked great for, even sometimes better than more expensive dumbbells, the way it was shipped and everything. Out of the box, you're ready to go. Also, the design I do think is superior. This octagon I actually prefer more so than a square, personal preference. I think you get more of that circular kind of shape, so everything kind of feels a little more balanced, minus the big width here that I am not a fan of. If you're comparing this thing to other things in this category, especially things like the Eisenlinks, we won't talk about the protruding spin lock because that probably be a little bit cheaper, although you couldn't expand as high. This goes up to, I believe with their extender pin, 165 was what the number was. This I think beats the Eisenlinks, no question. Now granted, I haven't tried the Eisenlinks, but just looking at it and seeing that it is pretty much similar, they're using the same kind of free patent that's out there right now. Could we see something else cheaper, possibly in the near future? But as of right now, these are, for what they are great. If you're considering these things, you might be more considering the budget and the fact that for the money, everything else you're considering with the weight, these might be a very good option for you. As I started to get below 40, 50 pounds, even as I started stripping these weights down to go down to 25, 30, and as I've already kind of gone through this a few times, the idea of just having to screw and unscrew these weights was just, I don't want to say annoying, but yes, it was annoying compared to the quick lock adjustable dumbbells, which I'm spoiled, no question, because I got the chance to try all these things. I'm gonna stop it short. I could rant about this thing for a while, but if you wanna check these out and or support the channel, I'll put the link down below for these. Also some Ironmasters, if you guys like that too, but I'll put some other dumbbells in there too that I think are better. Any other questions, comments, feedback about this? If there's something else you guys wanna see and see covered, let me know, because that's how this review came out to fruition, was from you guys for special requests. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.